Today, we're going to focus on the week ahead, and that includes inflation, it includes the oil price, and something we haven't seen for a long time, which is the potential for interest rates to come down in Europe. Okay, so let's start off with inflation, and it's inflation in the US. So we've got the US PCE price index, and that's coming out on Friday. Now this is important because it's the US central bank, so the equivalent of the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve. It's their preferred measure of inflation overall. And also what we've seen, and this is also why it's quite important, is that in the recent Federal Open Market Committee minutes, so basically the group that set interest rates in the US, they've said they're in no rush to cut interest rates right now. So this will be very keenly watched to understand the direction of travel of the measure itself, so inflation, then also how that then feeds into US interest rates moving forward. Then next, the oil price, a very big meeting right at the end of this week, which is for OPEC Plus. So OPEC Plus are the main oil producing nations. And what they're doing is they're getting together to understand how they can help stabilize the oil price. So over the past few months, you've actually seen the oil price come down and you started to see it bottom out a little bit. Now, the expectation is that they continue with their cutting of 2.2 million barrels per day as a way to reduce the supply and therefore potentially increase the pricing overall. And then next, we've got the European Central Bank. And this for me is something that's really interesting actually. So we have the interest rate decision. So that's not this week, that's actually next week. But what we've had is a lot of the members of the European Central Bank speaking, and some of the things that they've been saying I think are really interesting around the direction of travel in respect of interest rates in Europe. So just a few comments here, which I'm going to read. So you had the ECB chief economist, Philip Lane, said, barring major surprises, at this point in time, there is enough in what we see to remove the top level of restriction. And we also saw similar comments from the ECB member, Olli Rehn, in his speech yesterday. So guidance there that potentially we could see lower interest rates coming through in Europe at the interest rate decision next week. Now there's further speakers coming through today. So again, what we'll do is we'll listen to those speeches and we'll come to you tomorrow with more information on that. And then just finally for me, China, you've got the purchasing manager indices coming out. So basically they look at manufacturing and also at services and look at the main companies within China to try and understand the direction of travel for those companies. So they speak to the heads of those companies overall. So it'll give us an idea of the health of the Chinese economy overall. So lots and lots for us to concentrate on this week. I've only picked out some of the things. It's a very, very busy week for economic data, for data releases overall. But as always, please do watch Morning Markets and we'll keep you up to date on that. Thank you.